प्रभु तुम्हारा चरण देखो नव दिन प्रभु अशोक भयामृत पूर्ण सर्वखाणा सकल छाड़िया तुआ चरण कमाले ओडिया छिया मीनाथ तव पद तले तव पाद पद्मनाथ रखिबे आमारे हरनाथ कर्तनांगी हे भव संसारे हे भव संसारे अमितव नित्य दास जाने नो ये बारा अमिताभ नित्य दासा जाने नो ये बारा हमारा पलन भार ये खाना तुम्हारा स्वतंत्र जीवानी बड़ो दुख पाइयाची स्वतंत्र जीवानी दुख दूर गेलो ओ पदावरणे ये पद लगिया रमा तपस्या करीला ये पद लगी ये पद पाइया सेवा शिवत्व लोभीला ये पद लभिया ब्रह्मा कृतार्थ होइना ये पद लभिया ब्रह्मा लीला সেই সে অভয়া পদা শিরেতে ধরিয়া পরমা আনন্দে নাচি পদ গুণ গাইয়া সংসার বিপদ হতে অবশ্য উদ্ধার ভক্তি বিনোদ গোপদ করিবে তোমার ঘনা ভজন প্রভু তোমার চরণ अशोक भयामृत पूर्ण सर्वखण अशोक भयामृत ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्वन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome all of you. I always sing a Vaishnava song in relation to the theme that we will discuss about. This is the one which we started and we are somewhere midway. It's called Seeking Divine Empowerment and the Types of Power. We had started this last time. So the song which we sang, it has two parts. In the first half, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing about how he's saying, Ekhana bhujino Prabhu, Tomara charana. Bhujino means I have understood. He's saying, what I have understood? Ashoka, Ashoka Bhayamrita, Purna Sarva Khana. He says that ever since I became your devotee, I have become free from all lamentation, he says, and I have become free from all fears. In this world, all living beings are afflicted by fears and dangers. And Prabhupada writes about that in one of the purports. Like somebody is healthy, they are afraid anytime disease may attack their body. Somebody is rich, they are afraid they'll become poor. You know, somebody is born in a great kulam, kule chitibayam. They have fear that they may fall from the position. Similarly, somebody is beautiful, they have fear that they may get old and white hair may come and they may get wrinkles in the face and they may get the beauty may be lost. They have fear like that. And rupe charaya bayam, mane dhanya bayam. Somebody has a lot of prestige in society. He is afraid that some competitor may insult him. Like recently Vivek Bindra was taken to task by our other fellow. What's his name? Sandeep Maheshwari. They were friends at one time. But some Vivek Bindra's students went and asked Sandeep Maheshwari some questions. And then Sandeep Maheshwari spoke certain things, and Vivek Bindra was not happy about that. He said, if you have questions, you should ask me directly, not the speaker in the public and things like that. So sometimes in this world, one has fear that you have a great reputation and then the reputation is spoiled. We have fear of that also. Bhoge roga bayam, kule chiti bayam, mane dane bayam, rupe jaraya bayam. Similarly, in this way, everybody in this world has some fear. Here he says, Ashoka abhaya. When one becomes a devotee, one becomes like a child of Krishna. One leaves everything to Krishna. Sometimes devotee may be, somebody may insult Bhishma Pitama, thinking that he is on Kaurava's side, but a devotee knows whatever will please the Lord, I am ready to play that role, isn't it? So, and then he's saying, not only I have become free from fear and anxiety, he says that ever since I came under the lotus feet of Lord, he's saying it's like an umbrella from where sweet rice is showering or rabadi is showering. You are also shaded from the hot sun, but you are also eating some rabadi also along with that. Purna sarva khana, he's saying. Actually, this kind of thing comes in the Bhagavatam also. There is one verse which says that. Bhagavatam says that Lord's lotus feet serves double purpose. It shades you from the scorching heat of material existence on one hand. On the other hand, it gives you the nectar of the joy of Bhakti Yoga. Recently, in one class, I was giving a example which I heard from my spiritual master that, when you bring potato from the market, first you put it in hot water and they remove all the sand and everything. Then they peel it. Then they cut it into slices. And they put it in a frying pan in the oil till the sound comes. After that, they put some chili powder over it. Then they put some salt over it. Then they put a chunk also at the end. And they fry it like that. Poor potato has to undergo all that. And then once it undergoes all these things, then it becomes offerable to Krishna as a bhog. So my Guru Maharaj was telling, similarly, when one comes to devotion service, one should be ready to be purified, he said, to be offerable to Krishna. So I was quoting this example. Then one boy was asking a question. Prabhu, Krishna says, Susukam kartam aveyam, but we find spiritual life very frustrating. So this example you gave, I really feel like that. I find a lot of difficulty when dealing with devotees. Now I understand this Potta example is more fitting, not that Susukam kartam, which Krishna says. So he was telling, is there any other Sanskrit verse which says devotion life is frustrating? He was asking like that. Then I showed him this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. I showed him one verse. All of you repeat this. Abhisandaya yohimsam dambam matsaryameva samrambhi bhinna drigbhavam mayi kuryat satamasaha. She is saying here, please read the translation, one of you. Who has the mic with you?
Hare Krishna. Translation by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is a separatist is considered to be in the mode of darkness.
Yeah. So 5 things he is saying. A person who is envious, that means he can't tolerate others' progress. And one who is proud and boastful, that I am a great devotee. In Rajaguna, a person thinks, I am a great devotee. In Tamaguna, one thinks, I am the only devotee. Everybody else is useless. That is Tamaguna. Rajaguna means, I am a very great devotee. Like that he thinks. Sataguna means, there are many wonderful devotees. That's Sataguna. And Shuddha Vishuddha Sattva means, I am not a devotee. Everybody else is devotee. All are great like that. So, see, we can read from here.
In pure devotional service, the only motive should be to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is not actually a motive. That is the pure condition of the living entity. In the conditional stage, when one engages in devotional service, he should follow the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master in full surrender. The spiritual master is a manifested representation of the Supreme Lord because he receives and presents the instructions of the Lord as they are by disciplinic succession.
Yeah. So, now where is the potato example coming here in this example given here? Because we are in Tamaguna, Rajaguna or Sattaguna, we face challenges while living in a devotee community. We have to deal with, this. Problem is not with others, problem is often with our own tendencies. Like he says, Abhisandayo Himsam, a violent devotee. Violent devotee means, he does things very aggressively without being sensitive to others, isn't it? And also Dhambam, very proud devotee. Matsaryam, he envies others' progress. If he knows some devotee is popular, he criticizes the devotee very heavily. Samrambi means angry devotee. Haribol, come here, like that they say. Haribol is supposed to be said very sweetly. Haribol, please come here, Haribol, like that. Haribol. So the Haribol becomes horrible. So, Samrambi, Bhinnadrik Bhava means separatist. Separatist means what? You say, today evening we all are going for Harinam Sankirtan. He will say, I am going to sit at home and do Shravanam. He will say. And then you make announcement. All our devotees are going to come together for Shravanam for a couple of hours. He will say, no, I am thinking of going for Harinam. Or I am going for book distribution. He will say. That means he will exactly do opposite to what other devotees are doing. He is separatist. Separatist means he does his own thing. He doesn't flow with all devotees. Separatist mentality. Bhinnadrik bhava. So therefore, this type of people often have tussles with others. Like management, they have tussles with management because they don't align with management. Similarly, there are 2 very prominent natures of conditioned souls in this world. One is possessiveness, another one is domination. So when they become very possessive, my counselee and my student, and so they don't allow them to render any other service. So this is a very big test. Sometimes there is a fight between 2 big devotees. My man, your man. And these people, when they want to change counselor from one to another, my Lord, that's a war. Yeah. And one counselor, he called the counselor, please come to my home. So, and he fed prasad to Counselor Mataji, Counselor Prabhuji, and offered obeisances and gave them gifts and everything, and then said, I want to change counselor. That's all. That was like a bomb. Another 3 hours till midnight meeting went on. What did you find in me that you want to change? What is lacking? What is there in that other person that is not in me? What have I not done? How did I bring you from the early days of Krishna consciousness to you are a toddler? I brought you to this level. I know who you are. What are your problems? This, that. And that fellow got chastisement. He couldn't change. Later on, I told the devotee, you did a wrong thing. Wrong thing, calling them to home and giving a gift and giving prasad. I thought all this will cool down and then I can tell. I said, you should have just written a letter with me in CC. Just write a letter and say that you are a wonderful devotee, all that, but I have I can't open up myself. I need someone with whom I can trust more and place confidence. So these are all therefore, this is angry devotee, we say, no? One becomes a very angry devotee. One should know that Krishna can inspire people from multiple devotees. And also, if a devotee loves another devotee, that doesn't mean they hate us. If somebody tells me, oh, Gauranga Prabhu gave such a terrific lecture, Prabhu, or Gauranga Darshan Prabhu gave such a beautiful shloka he spoke that day, that doesn't mean, what does it mean? Can I not say the shloka? What do you think? If you ask like that, some people become insecure. Who told you are not good? See, you all are having 15, 20 preachers here. You have to be very careful about that. Because one of your counselee or whatever, they are going to come and glorify another speaker. And they will tell you that, Prabhu, last week you called one devotee, what a lecture he gave, he may say. He may say, I am giving every week. You never appreciated even once. One fellow, because you saw that fellow once in a blue moon, therefore you are appreciating. And I am giving every time. You never, in the last 2 years, I am giving one word you didn't say. So then this is a problem. Like in Pune, one fellow used to come to Jaydev Prabhu's house program. We had 120 devotees. So he ate that idli. Idli was so soft. It was like jasmine flower. So soft it was. So he ate that idli and told, I have never eaten idli like this in my life. At that time, behind his shoulder, his wife was watching. And he turned around, and then his wife was seeing, and then he was here. So like that he was seeing. Next day he went home. Next day morning, his wife told him, he asked the wife, where is the breakfast today? She said, I didn't make anything. Why? He said, you never like idli that I make. You only appreciate idli. For others, it is a jasmine for you. When I make idlis at home, it's like a rock for you. So therefore, I didn't make anything. She said, you go to temple, take darshan, take some prasad and go in there. The husband said, no. You make first class prasad. Who said? I just told them to encourage them. But then she said, but you never encouraged me first. So you will find in the path of bhakti, devotees can become envious like this. Correct, no? Yeah. So that means it's not yet purified devotee. And they are the ones who feel this potato effect. Potato effect is felt more to the degree we are not yet purified. Therefore, this kind of mentalities are there. Dambam, Matsaryame Baba, Samrampi, Bhinnatrik Bhavam, Sabat Tamasochite. So it's a Tamasa Bhakti it is. Yeah. So now how is this? I was telling about the song. What is the Ekana Bhajan Prabhu, Tamara Charana, Ashoka Bhayamrita, Purna Sarvakhana, and then Chakala Chadya Tuvat, Charana Kamala. I have come to your lotus feet after leaving all considerations, my dear Lord. Your lotus feet is everything for me. That doesn't mean you have to be a brahmachari or a sannyasi. Leaving everything, coming to Lord means your main interest in life becomes Krishna's lotus feet. Just now, today I heard Subara Prabhu completed the Bhagavatam fully. In the last session, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu came and encouraged everybody. Now, some of them wanted to repeat it. So he started repeating for 15 of them and added another 25 more, I think, is it? Almost like 50, 60 again. 45 people he has. So every week, 2 classes, 1.5 hours each, right? Amazing. Give him an applause. Haribo. Such a wonderful thing, you see. So they have found a great taste. Now they again would like to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam again. Yeah. So in this way, this is the meaning of, leaving aside all other things and approaching the Lord. In any walk of life, your heart is coming to the Krishna's lotus feet, like that. So, and then he's saying, uh, you are the protector, you are my maintainer. Because 8.4 million species in this world, who is the one who gives them food? And every one of them have specific type of food. Mm. Not all of them have same food. And he has kept food for everybody, exactly the right type of food. Similarly, you are the ultimate protector of all living entities. When Prabhupada was traveling in the Jaladuta, he says that the Jaladuta was like a vessel in the middle of Atlantic Ocean. If you take a snapshot from the sky, it will look like a small, tiny thing in the vast body of water, which is very deep also. You know, by will of providence, if a storm comes, it can easily drown. Prabhupada said, I am completely at Krishna's mercy. Because anything can happen anytime in this world. But Krishna safely uh, made him travel from India to America, and then he could do many wonderful, miraculous things. So one should be aware that if we are protected in challenging situations, it's Lord's will that He protected us. And even if He doesn't protect our bodies, He protects the devotion performed by a devotee. It goes life after life, just like it went in the case of Bharat Maharaj. Because body is a changing thing. Sometimes the body is not protected by the Lord. Why? Because sometimes we have a very heavy karmic account. And say, for example, your devotee is supposed to uh, uh, die at 75. But when the devotee is 70 only, some cancer or something overtakes the body. Now, why the Lord gives such punishment? Because sometimes there is a very heavy backlog of sin. And there are two choices. One is the sinful tendencies, proclivities may impel the devotee to do some ignoble thing in the later years, which will spoil the reputation of the devotee and spoil the reputation of the movement, leading to great loss, because you have a good track record and then you do some blunder. That's a great painful thing. Instead of the blunder, if the Lord gives something, whatever outcome of the blunder, equivalent amount of pain the Lord may give in the form of some disease or something, and take the devotee away before the actual date of death may come. Lord may take away. Actually, the quantum of pain and pleasure are fixed in our Brahmalipi and the time of birth. But how it will come, in what form it will come, we don't know. But the pleasure and pain is very precisely administered to us, what we deserve. So sometimes the Lord saves the reputation of a devotee, but then gives a physical suffering to the devotee. So in this way, one escapes from the bad reputation for oneself and the movement. Lord, in advance only takes away the devotee from before that situation can actually happen, which is, we call it as a like drida, drida, adrida. There are three types of karmas. Adrida karmas can be easily overcome. Drida is little difficult to overcome, but not impossible. But the drida karmas cannot be overcome at all. Unchangeable destiny. So the idea is, when a devotee knows very well that even if troubles come in my life, that is Lord's plan to purify me and take me back to Him. Like Parikshit took it. So in this way, the songs talks about the only problem I had in my life, he says, is I tried to be swatantra jivane. I tried to turn away from God and try to enjoy independently. I suffered. Like that, the devotee says. That's the main cause of my suffering. So, Badaduka payachi swatantra jivane, he says. So, Prabhupada says that sometimes there is a bolt in the lorry wheel. You've seen that there's a metallic wheel outside, which a rubber wheel is there. That bolt or nut comes out sometimes, falls on the road. So if you go to a shop and ask him, how much can you pay for this bolt or nut? So he will just give you bangar kabab, they call it. 1 rupee he'll give you. But if the same bolt is going to, you lost it in the lorry. Later on you go to the shop, you want to buy it standard part. The same bolt will be 50 rupees. Why? Because it is going to fit in that place and it is going to be tightened. And it is going to serve the larger purpose of driving the vehicle. Similarly, if you fit in Krishna's spiritual world, your value is more. And if you become independent and you're lying on the road, you're you become independent, bangar kabab, that's all. We have no value. So here comes a very important point. All of us, when we are in this society of ISKCON, the whole topic is about empowerment. When we became devotees, and then gradually we grew up in seniority, a stage comes when you are put on the vyasas and they give you a garland. They offer you so much glorification. And you can see that, but if we fall down in character, then the same people who will adore us, you know, they, uh, they will beat us up or they will throw us out. You will see that. So, what is being respected in this moment for us is actually the merciful position in which the spiritual master has put us. So, we all have two sides. We have a good side, we have a bad side. Our bad side is kept under control, and good side is becoming nourished, and it is being enhanced and increased by our connection to the spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada and Vaishnavas, and all the devotional activities that we are doing. Or we can't say our bad side is fully gone. Both are there. For example, we have frivolous speech, we have proper spiritual speech. So we are trying to keep the frivolous speech under control. Mute. You put mute for that. Frivolous speech, mute. And spiritual speech, unmute. Correct, na? So we are able to speak like that. But sometimes suddenly this gets unmuted also. Which one? Frivolous speech also. Like that comes out. And the people wonder, how can you say such words? How can you speak such things? People wonder. Similarly, the frivolous activities. So when it comes to the life of devotee, then the respectability is lost. So this is the empowerment. Empowerment means when we are empowered by Guru and Krishna, just like iron rod is put in fire, the iron rod behaves like fire. Like any of you have done the Smithy lab in engineering, we make that iron rod very hot, red hot and yellow hot and white hot. When it becomes very, very hot, then you can hit it with a sledgehammer and then change the shape, correct? No? Similarly, whenever personality becomes very intense in spiritual practices, Guru is able to mold us in Krishna's ways. Then we say, Karishe Vachanam Tava. Then we align with Krishna. When we don't practice intensely, Guru finds it difficult to transform our heart. Because the disciple always has independent program. Guru says, go to north, he says, I'll go to south. Guru says, go to east, he says, I'll go to west. Just the opposite he wants to do. Even if mercy comes, he will not accept it easily. Like there was one fellow who whenever his Guru would come to Pune, he would bring such a big garland, like a Balaji garland. Thick garland, this much thick. When you put on the Guru's neck, Guru would say, very heavy garland. He would put like that. And from the neck up to the ground, touching the ground practically. And he must be spending thousands of rupees for that. So then his Guru asked me, Radheshyam, you know this person? I said, oh, Maharaj, you know him very well. Now, does he come to temple? He asked me. I said, Maharaj, only he comes whenever you come. I said, once in 3 months, once in 6 months he comes. Then Maharaj told, see, I'll be more happy if you come every week to the temple than when you offer me this big garland. I know you love me very much, but I want you to express your love for me by coming every Sunday. And you don't have to purchase such a costly garland. You just come, to temple. So I am expecting you to do one thing, but you are doing something else to me. So that's the meaning of independent mindset, correct, no? Independent means Guru has some expectation from us and we do something on our own. So, that brings only suffering. So, and this I have seen the spiritual master tell him 3-4 times. Whenever he came. And I was wondering, Maharaj, you already told him last time, he is not following, but why you are telling? But Guru thinks it's a thankless task of the Guru. You keep telling this is the right thing. Do this, do this. Because at least sometime it will hit the eardrum. Okay, what he said. So, therefore, Guru, if we connect with Guru properly, we become a good conductor of Guru's instruction. Prahlad is a super conductor. So how much was the resistance in Prahlad's heart? Zero. Zero resistance. Full current flowed through Prahlad. Current of mercy flowed through Prahlad. How much resistance was there in Hiranyakashipu's heart? 100%. In electrical engineering, we study 5 ohm, 10 ohm, correct? No? That's resistance, correct? No? So Hiranyakashipu had 100% resistance. Prahlad had zero resistance. Yeah. So when our resistance becomes less, then we become more and more conducted by Guru and Krishna. That is called as Paravasha. Huh? Bhakti Paravash, we say. No? What is Paravash? You are not in your own Vash. You are in Paravash, spiritual Vash. Huh? You become possessed by spiritual Shakti. Huh? And that Shakti dominates you, lords over you, and that Shakti is transmitted through you. You just have to become like a autopiloted plane, huh? Which is controlled from the control room. Huh? Then a devotee becomes empowered like that. Now, if the iron rod is continuously in touch with fire, then it can always behave like fire. But when you take the iron rod out of fire and keep it on the table for some time, say 1 or 2 hours, then what happens? Huh? Yeah, then it becomes cold. Does it behave like fire? No. So that means we need empowerment, which is like a constant phenomenon. No? We have to be constantly empowered for us to be able to do it. But the problem is what? I remember in school days, my father got me a bicycle. So when I sat on the bicycle and started riding, from one end of the lane to other end I am going. And I could very smoothly ride. I was wondering, it is so easy. Then I looked behind, my father was holding the seat. You know, he was coming behind me to make sure I don't fall on the other side. He was coming running behind me and then holding the seat behind. Then I told him, no, 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 Papa, why are you holding? I don't need any help. It is so easy to drive. I can drive on my own. I said. So of course he left me. Then when I drove within from here to there, I just fell off on the other side. And then I got a wound in my knee. It started bleeding. Immediately went home and then put. So I became so fearful of driving cycle. Then I started putting leg like this. You know that we put like this, driving like this. So for some time, father saw that, he was laughing. Hey, you can't go to school like this. How long are you going to do this? Then he came and volunteered. He said, okay, I'll help you again and I'll catch it behind. So generally what happens when we are helped by a superior from behind, oftentimes we tend to fail to recognize that. huh? Like many times, people fail to realize the role that spiritual master plays in our life. Because it's a very subtle thing. huh? We fail to realize that you are being respected because you are so and so's disciple. When you go, like when I go to some temple abroad also anywhere, people say, oh, this is Radheshyam Prabhu, the disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. So they will say, oh, Radhanath Swami is so good, he is so kind, he is so compassionate, he is so loving and caring. Because you happen to be his disciple, you also must be like him. So they superimpose him on us and put a big expectation from us, and you will tremble. You can't be like him. But they assume that you must be good like him because you are his disciple. Correct or not? Uh, so we get a lot of empowerment when we have that connection, higher connection. And with that higher connection, many things get done very easily for you. Things are tick marked for you just by some connection when you go also. You will see that. Life is made more easy for us. So I just gave an example. Now, in the same manner, you will see that this topic of empowerment becomes very important. Why? Because in our conditioned stage, we fail to recognize that upper connection. We become blinded to the upper connection and connect more with the lower connection. Like you all know, see, this is the example of, see, this Govardhan Leela, isn't it? One amazing thing with Lord Krishna is, below the mountain, there was a very nice, loving exchange that was happening between Krishna and all the five rasas, correct? No? With all the gopas, gopis, and everybody. So this is called as Rasaraj under Giriraj. Our Gauranga Rashmu coined this beautiful term, Rasaraj under Giriraj. So beautiful pastimes are going on. But above the mountain, what was happening? Indra was, throwing thunderbolt and so many other things, heavy shower of, Samvardaka rain and everything. But he was getting repeatedly frustrated because of his attempts were not helpful. He could not knock down the mountain, nor could he, the famous verse, Jako Rakai Saya, Marana Sakai Koi, Balana Banka Karisaka, you heard that, no? He couldn't do Balka Banka with Vijvasis. Even one person he could not disturb. So he was very frustrated. So there was purification going in the top and loving exchange happening at the bottom here. And in the Kaliya Daman Leela, there was rasa exchange going in the top because Krishna was dancing on Kaliya and purification going at the bottom. It's reverse, opposite like this. So this is Krishna's beautiful pastime. Simultaneously, he does both. He is purifying one fellow and giving delight to the pure devotees simultaneously, isn't it? But here you can see how Krishna is kind. He is standing in a secluded place, away from Ujbasis. No one is here around. Why? Because he is going to teach some lessons to Indra now. And Indra comes in his Airavad. See, Krishna is seeing now. Huh? But Krishna will turn his face. See? He stand. He doesn't want to see. He's upset. When you're upset, this is what you all will do, right now? You turn your face away. See, Indra is not straight coming in his Airavad anymore. What he did? He's got down. He is very shameful now. How can he come in front of Krishna and the Airavad like a king? He's very ashamed. So he got down. He's coming to meet Krishna. So he gets a sass now. He gets a chastisement. He's saying, Pida Gurustvam Jagatamadhisho Duratyaya Kala Upata Dandaha Hitaya Chechatanu Samihase Manam Vidhunvan Jagadisha Maninam. Yeah, translation.
You are the father and spiritual master of this entire universe and also its supreme controller. You are in insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon the sinful for their own benefit. Indeed, in your various incarnations, selected by your own free will, you act decisively to remove the false pride of those who presume themselves masters of this world.
False pride comes when we forget the empowerment given to us. Like, Krishna trusted Indra and made him a demigod and told him that you are the Lord of showers now. And the human beings will offer sacrifices to you, and then you are supposed to give them rain. And and I have made this arrangement for you, and peacefully stay in your post and execute your duties. Like that, Krishna has put. And while executing duties, slowly, Indra started thinking, what is the need for Krishna? I am there, I am giving rains, and they are worshipping me. So he and Indra thought me and my followers. He just got cut off from Krishna like that. So this happened in ISKCON. There are disciples who started some temple of their own without any ISKCON's permission. There are some people who have started, they brought the deities. In Pune, one fellow has started one NASHCON, he's calling it. You know what is NASHCON? NASHCON is not ISKCON. He's calling it, it's National Association for Hare Krishna Consciousness. NASHCON, see. And this fellow, I don't want to mention anything about, he is a disciple of one guru in ISKCON only. But now he has made his temple, he has brought the deities and he is presenting himself as a Guruji there himself. So if you see his website, he's putting very attractively everything. So now his contributors are trying to, he's putting Prabhupada's picture. So they went and asked him, hey, putting Prabhupada's picture, you are doing independently. So Then we took the matter to his spiritual master also. See, this fellow has become independent. Why people want independence? Because they want to become a self-effulgent acharya. We say, no? They don't want any control of anybody and they want full freedom. In ISKCON, you cannot bring deity without following certain standards and all. He doesn't want any restriction from anything. Tomorrow, these people sometimes will fall with some woman and then they will give up everything and go, and a lot of bad reputation will come. It's a horrible thing. It's a repetitive phenomenon in this world. So, in this way, people can become cut off from the original tree. Even during Lord Chaitanya's time also, Advaita Acharya Prabhu had 6 sons. 3 were faithful followers. Other 3 became Mayavadis. You can imagine. So even sometimes in great families also it can happen like that. So there are 2 types of people. One are faithful followers, one are cut off. So we have to try to remain faithful followers. Faithful followers means make sure that we are in the line of Guru Parampara, we are properly representing Guru and Prabhupada, and we are giving the right message to people, and we are humble and loyal and connected, and we don't do things which we are told not to do. One has to be very careful. So Indra is now ashamed there. He's saying that you are like a father, you are like a guru, Krishna. Why? Because Guru always wishes well for the disciple. Guru wants to elevate the disciple. Guru doesn't want to see the disciple fall down and go away. Therefore, he is calling Krishna as Guru. Because Krishna is in a mood to reform Indra. He is not in a mood to, drive away Indra. See, Sridhar Swami, read that, what Sridhar Swami is saying.
According to Sridhara Swami, Indra and Lord Krishna here exchange a heart-to-heart talk. Indra revealed his mind to the Lord, and now Lord Krishna similarly reveals his own intention.
Shri Shukavacha Yevam Sankirtita Krishno Maghona Bhagavanamum Megagam Bhiraya Vacha Prahasannidam Abravit. So, in this way, when Indra praised Krishna that, Krishna, you are my master, I am a foolish servant, I did such a big blunder, I am very ashamed for what I have done. Like that, when he spoke all that, and then here it says, Mega Gambhirya Vacha. Krishna spoke in a rumbling voice like a cloud, but it was also very sweet. Prahasan, he had a smile on his face. See what Krishna is saying. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya te kari Bhagavan Makabhango Nugrahnata Madanusmritaye Nityam Mattasyendra Shriya Brisham. He's saying, Maya, by me, te akari Bhagavan, oh Indra, Makabhango Anugrahnata. To show you mercy, I have stopped sacrifice for you, he's saying. So you may wonder, really? Every year they are doing sacrifice. You stopped my sacrifice for showing mercy to me. So how does the mercy tally? Because when I stopped the sacrifice, you became upset. And then you started throwing tantrums. And now I have brought you on your hands and knees. And in this way, I got the opportunity to remove your false pride. And I have brought you to the senses. Now that you have come to senses and become aligned with Krishna, so that is the greatest blessing that you received. Therefore, it is Anugrihnata. Because Phalena Parcheta, the end result is Indra has become submissive now. Is it good or bad? See, you have to see based on the result you should see. You all know this 20,700 kings were arrested by one Jarasandha. So getting arrested is good or bad? What do you think? It's bad thing. But you know what they are saying? I'll just show you. It's in 76th chapter, I think, is it? Just 1 minute. See what they are saying in the 10th canto. Kings 72, no? Yeah. Slaying of. And this one, Kings liberated. This one, yeah. This is the chapter. See what they are saying. when they saw Krishna here, they are going to speak to Krishna. This is the verse. Please repeat this. You want Sanskrit or Devanagari? You want Devanagari or you want this one? English? Okay. Nainam natanusuyamo Magadam Madhusudana Anugraho Yadbhavato Rajñam Rajyachutir Vibho. What these fellows are saying, my dear Lord Krishna, we were all kings in different Pradesh. And we became greedy to expand our kingdoms. So we started fighting with one another and looting each other's property. And when we were doing that, at that time, this fellow Jarasandha saw us, that we are all fighting. He was very mighty. He had 21 Akshayanis, correct, no? He captured all of us and brought us here to the jail and he has put us here, the jail. So when we were mutually fighting, he took advantage of our fight and then he subdued us and brought us. And this fellow was planning something like Narabali kind of thing. He was planning to kill all these kings. And after they were put in the jail, far from being kings, they didn't get proper food also. No proper water. Their body, skin and all got a lot of diseases and everything. They were suffering actually. Many of them were very skinny. So is this suffering good or bad? You know what they are saying? Nainam nata anusuyamo. We are not having any kind of anger or envy towards Magadendra. What is his name? Magadendra? Yes. King of Magadha. He is Jarasandha. We are not angry or upset with him also. Then why? Anugraho yadbhavato. He has given us anugraha, they are saying. What is the anugraha? Because when we wrote a letter to you, you come now when the jail door open. Beautiful darshan of Krishna we got now. Therefore, his putting us in the jail and making us suffer has led us to your darshan. Therefore, it is anugraho, they are saying. On the other hand, imagine if he didn't bring us here, we will all be in our own kingdom very proudly, boastfully ruling our kingdom. On one day we will die, we would have never got your darshan. Is that good or is this good? This is good. So that means sometimes suffering in our life is considered anugraha because that leads us to come to Krishna. If one frustration sometimes is good for us, if it ultimately end result is it brought you to Krishna's lotus feet. It has happened to many devotees. This is a very amazing phenomenon it is. Therefore, anything in this world is anugraha, provided it brings you to Krishna's lotus feet. That conclusion you can consider that. You see the word what they are using, Rajya Chutir Vibho. We were thrown out of our own kingdoms, which is a great anugraha, they are saying. So because of that, we got your darshan. Therefore, here just one verse before that you will see. See, first they are seeing Krishna here. The ecstasy of beholding Lord Krishna, having dispelled the weariness of their imprisonment, king stood with joined palms and offered words of praise to that supreme master of senses. So before that, they are getting darshan of Krishna here. And the description of Krishna's beauty is given here. Yeah. So what they are saying, see the first verse is very beautiful. Rajana Uchuhu Namaste Deva Devesha Prapannarti Haravyaya Prapannan Pahinah Krishna Nirminnan Ghora Samsritehe. Translation.
The king said, "Obeisances to you, O Lord of the ruling demigods, O destroyer of your surrendered devotees' distress. Since we have surrendered to you, O inexhaustible Krishna, please save us from this terrible material life, which has made us so despondent."
Yeah. So we have surrendered to you. So here it appears that they want relief from the terrible material life. But then if you see the next verse, if you see, here they are saying that, you read this?
O Master Madhusudana, We do not blame this king of Magadha, since it's actually by your mercy that kings fall from their royal position, O Almighty Lord.
Oh, that means Krishna is the one who posts us. Krishna is the one who can remove us. We ourselves cannot post ourselves. So we may be put in a big position. Krishna can remove it, just like Krishna gave Shakti to Arjuna through the Gandiva bow. Later on, there is a verse in the Bhagavatam which says, Tadvai dhanushta ishabah sarato hayaste soham ratindra patayo yata anamanti sarvam kshanena tadabud asadi shariktam bhasman kutam koha karaptam ibottam. This verse says that, Arjuna is amazed. This is the same chariot I was riding. This is the same horses. This is the same Gandiva bow. Why I don't have such power what I had at that time? Because now Krishna has snatched back the empowerment that he gave me, because that time it was necessary for the battle of Kurukshetra. But now he has taken it away, because otherwise I will hurt myself with this by becoming falsely proud of my being a indefeatable, warrior or something like that. Krishna thinks it's not good for us, he will take. So in this way, this is the reason why this topic is important, the empowerment topic. Because Krishna gives empowerment, he may take away empowerment. Actually, we all like empowerment. Why? Because empowerment makes us very popular, very famous, very important person, and we can shine with the empowerment that he has offered us, and so many people respect us. But pure devotees are empowered, but pure devotees don't mind Krishna taking away the empowerment if that is going to become harmful to them, their spiritual life. Krishna can give empowerment, take empowerment, and they always live in that mood that, whatever I'm able to do, it is Krishna's empowerment. So with that background, if you see the notes, so this notes I sent you last time. So we have finished all these things, different type of power, physical power, intuitional power, emotional power, academic power, intuitive power. So we have explained all these different type of powers, sacred power. So these different powers I showed you, these are all observable in this world. Like somebody's intellectual power or intuitive power. So academic, all these things. These are all special Shakti people have. Like when I was studying in IIT Bombay, we used to have one subject called finite element modeling. So we used to have these 4 green boards, big boards. There was one Professor Maiti. So he was a super genius in mathematics. So he would start with the first board. All of us will be raising hand and supplying him the next step in the maths equation. He would keep on writing. Then he would, what's the next thing? Tell me. He already knows everything, but he will ask us to say, so we will keep telling him. So the first board, almost 20 of us will be raising hand. Second board, it will become like 10, 12. Third board, when he continues, it will be, 5, 6. Fourth board, only 1 or 2 boys only. They'll be jumping. Others can't make out where is the steps going to now. It becomes very, very complicated. Correct, no? So academically, some people have that type of IQ, very extraordinary IQ in certain subjects. You've seen that. Like this, different type of powers we talked the last time. See, some people are emotionally, they are able to draw. And they have fans who are mad after them. That's what is written here. We all know people who have pictures of movie stars, sports heroes, famous singers. You can also include motivational speakers in this now, isn't it? The star-struck individuals dress like them, talk like them, walk like them. And so people are mad after them. So through the emotional power, they are drawing millions. Correct, no? There are people like that. So these are all different powers. Physical power. Physical power is like Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali. They have physical power. They have. Or like that. Different types of power we discussed last time. We finished that. Now one important thing we're coming to, which is the sacred power and the divine power we will read. Please read it. Sacred power. Is it big enough for you to read?
Hare Krishna. Sacred power. Sacred power results from following standardized formulas and bona fide spiritual systems, spiritual teachers and prophets. As people engage in austerities and selfless service, they naturally develop empowerment in harmony with the laws of the universe. They open themselves up to inspiration from higher realms. When directed properly, sacred power can propel them toward transcendence and divine power.
Okay, let us say a little bit about the sacred power. See, you have to vibrate with that frequency to draw that energy. For example, if I vibrate with sattvic frequency, then I can tap all the potential that are available on the sattva platform. If I vibrate with rajasic potency, then I can only tap those things which are in rajasic platform. So, because each living entity is a transmitter and a receiver. So, all of us are transmitting certain vibrations and receiving some vibrations, and we all carry a certain type of frequency in our mindset. So, uh, uh, when we are able to tune to the frequency of a particular plane, like if you are tuning to the spiritual frequency, then you make a lot of spiritual progress in that. So how do you know you are tuning to which frequency? I'll tell you a simple example. Like you see nowadays boys, girls in the college, they have this DJ. You've seen that? Dum, 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 dum. There are some people who want to go and dance in there, correct? No? They are tuning to Rajasic frequency. They are tuning, correct? Now we come to ISKCON temples, and then here you find there's a beautiful Sattvic raga going on, and everybody is going forward, backward, dancing, the Harinam Sankirtan, taking shelter of the Lord in their mind. So this is Sattvic and beyond Sattvic. So anybody who hears the holy name with a sincere heart, with an unpretentious heart, then the kirtan of the holy name can deeply enter the soul. So much so that it can keep vibrating in your heart day in and day out like that. Same manner, when you're hearing the lectures, sermons, if one is able to make sense of what is being spoken and its relevance to our personal lives, then you're vibrating with that frequency. Like sometimes we go for giving lecture to boys, and we are telling the boys that, one has to take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. The boy is asking, when is the prasadam? Because he's not vibrating with that frequency. Correct? Na? He is going in this frequency, we are telling in this frequency. There is a mismatch in the frequency right now. So therefore, generally when we go to any place, one of the first things I ask is who are the audience and what have the syllabus they have completed, and we want to check what are they looking for, what are their expectations, so that we can speak in a way that they can relate to it. Correct now? So that's what is a sacred power. Sacred power specifically is saying here, standardized formulas, one of which, for example, you chant this Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, for example, or you are chanting, singing some Vaishnava songs, or you're chanting Hare Krishna mantra. These are all devotional incantations, prayers, and all those things. Then there are also activities also, like doing a puja for the Lord, dressing the deity of the Lord. One example I'll tell you, in America that happened. One fellow, he drove me from where? From Pittsburgh. I think from Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh he drove us to the next place we went, Columbus, I think. Pittsburgh to Columbus, I think. So this fellow was an amazing fellow. Now he's like a big man in the industry. He's like a CEO type of person, very big man. So he told Swamiji, I would like to share my story with you. He said, how I became a devotee. He said, I was a very incorrigible fellow. Nobody can make me devotee. I was a pakka karmi he said, you all generally call karmis. I was also like that. He said, as a pakka karmi. But then his wife was a 16-pounder devotee. So in his community, Shamsundar Prabhu is the president there. And Shamsundar Prabhu was very kind to him. He many times tried to tell him when he would come for, sometimes he would come to drop his wife in the program and go back. Shamsundar would catch him and give him prasad. He will take little prasad and immediately he would run away. And Shamsundar Prabhu several times tried to make him sit in the lecture. He will sit when Prabhuji is singing, Jarada Madhav will close his eyes and he will escape. He won't be there. He'll go away. Because crowd is big, you don't know whether he's there or not. And Prabhuji will be wondering, where is that fellow? He'll escape. So Prabhuji couldn't make him sit in the lecture. Then he thought maybe Kirtan he will like. He taught him Kartal, can he come and sit? So he tried a little bit, but he couldn't sit in the Kirtan also. 5 minutes he will go away. Very difficult to bring. Prabhuji many times tried to talk about business to him and try to, make friendship with him. He told me, when he tried to make friendship with me, I clearly see that he's trying to connect with me. But I was not ready to connect. I was sleeping like the jellyfish, you catch it, just escapes. I was always escaping, he said. So, but Prabhuji was very patient with me, he said. So one day Prabhuji had to go to India for a month. 1 month he had to go. So he called this Prabhuji and said, see, I am going to India for a month. I just want one help from you. I can give the key of my house. You just come to my house, and here there is a beautiful Radha Krishna deity he has, He said, you just come to the altar and you remove this old flowers and everything, and, and then you just wipe this place and then put the fresh flowers from my garden here, and then just show agarbatti and a lamp. These two things you show for them and offer the flowers. These three things only. It will take you about 15-20 minutes. And he said, I don't want to put them to rest for one full month. It's not good. If you can do this small service for me, it'll be nice. I'll be very grateful to you. And this fellow agreed. And this fellow told me that he's from Tamil Nadu. He spoke to me in Tamil, this fellow. He said, I generally don't accept any commitment, but if you accept commitment, I'll be very rigid, pakka, like a lines written on a stone. He was very strict. So every morning, promptly 5 minutes before 5, he will come. He will go to the altar, ring the bell and bow down, and then he will, in fact, he was taking bath every day before 5. He did 1 full month he did. And after that 1 month was over, now Prabhuji Mataji came back from India. They said, now that we have come back, Prabhuji, now we will take care, thank you. But he couldn't stop coming. Because he said the deities attracted me. I don't know why. Whenever I look at the face of that Lord, he is so charming. I cannot be lying down at home. I continued coming. Prabhuji said, why have you come today? Why? I have come to see them only. Yeah. And he requested them, if you don't mind, can I do this service? Continue to do this service. They said yes. Then he started coming and serving the deity. Then he started chanting. Now he has come to 8 rounds now. 8 rounds of chanting. He said, nobody could attract me as much as this deities attracted me. So, Krishna has different ways of bringing people, correct? No? Now, when I read about the sacred power, that's what I understood. Because he followed this system of Pancharatriki, the worship of the Lord, and faithfully he did the service. Then that produces a kind of Shakti. Yeah, spiritual Shakti got produced, and he started tasting that Sattva Guna. Sattva, situating in Sattva and worshipping the Lord. He said taking early morning bath and coming to, and actually his heart has taken Krishna as a person very seriously. So that means one superior who really is affectionate to you should order you, and you should take that instruction to your heart very seriously, and you faithfully execute it over a period of time, then you get sacred power. From that you get sacred power. Now read further. As people engage in
As people engage in austerities and selfless service, they naturally develop empowerment in harmony with the laws of the universe. They open themselves up to inspiration from higher realms. When directed properly, sacred power can propel them toward transcendence and divine power.
See, they open themselves up for inspiration from higher realms. That means inspiration from higher realms is always available for everybody. You just have to open up your heart to that. Just like right now here, the waves are here, AM waves, FM waves, electromagnetic waves. You put a TV screen, immediately you can capture any, channel. Correct, no? Similarly, there's Goloka channel always all around. You can tap that inspiration by connecting with that frequency. That's the point he's saying. That's what Prabhupada did. He brought the hippies. The first thing Prabhupada did, he gave them prasadam, because prasadam purifies. Correct? No, ahara shuddha, sattva shuddhi. Sattva shuddha, dhruva smriti. Smriti lambe grantinam vipramoksha. This verse says that sattva shuddhi means it cleanses the mind, eating prasad. And when the mind became little cleansed, they were willing to chant Hare Krishna, come to the programs. Then they could hear and all. And then eventually they grew very powerfully in their bhakti. So, these austerities, these spiritual systems. But one very important thing is the student has to take the teacher very seriously. you will see that if a student takes the teacher casually and does not respect the teacher, in any field you take in this world, you cannot progress. You want to learn karate, you want to learn Bharatanatyam, you want to learn Carnatic music or Hindustani music, or you want to learn anything. PT Usha wants to run, and even for running, she needs a teacher. I was very surprised. Running, I can also run from here to there. Why do you need a teacher? I was thinking. But teacher, actually, a coach is required in every field, isn't it? So, and reverence for the teacher, admiration for the teacher, that actually is something that makes the candidate take the instruction very seriously, especially humility and gratitude. These two are very, very special qualities. The humility and gratitude naturally leads to respect. And when one is respectful, then the instructions are taken to the heart. And the instruction taken to the heart and applied in one's life, then you get the sacred power. And then go ahead to divine power.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Divine power. Divine power is the greatest of all because it contains the highest adoration and appreciation for the source of all power. Divine power comes to those who realize that they must emulate the lives of the most advanced
Source of all
saints,
power is Krishna. Yeah.
showing mercy, tolerance, full surrender, and love for all God's creation. Divine power manifests when we become humble enough to fully offer ourselves to God to be used like puppets. We have reached the highest level of spiritual attainment at this point when we totally surrender all personal agendas and desires. Then the direct energy of the Lord can enter so that we can begin to act in accordance with what He wants to
What
accomplish.
he wants to accomplish through us. Like Krishna wanted to accomplish victory of Pandavas and so that they can rule the world. That is his goal. And that is that is made possible through Arjuna. Like Prabhupada wrote the books and everything. Krishna wanted to make Prabhupada the Senapati Bhakta. Correct? Through him, he wanted to do Prativate Achadi Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoy Bhumorana. The Lord has a mission, he gets it done through his devotee by giving the devotee divine power. Yeah.
Our work is then done as if God is doing it Himself.
Like you all know in the computer, any desk, you put any desk, and then like sometimes I am in US, I'll tell Shivaji Prabhu, I'll put any desk and give that number to him. When he puts a number, he can enter into the computer like a ghost, correct, na? And then, correct, then he can do anything in the computer and I will be just watching. Cursor is moving here and there. People wonder how it's doing on its own, because he is operating. That's what the Lord does through his devotees. Yeah. You understand it? All IT people here will understand it. Yeah, yes.
In Vedic terminology, such empowered individuals are called Avesha Avataras, and his divine power, known as Daiva, is considered infinitely superior to Purushakara.
There are two words, Daiva and Purushakara. Daiva is conducted by divine will, and Purushakara is strength generated by one's intelligence and abilities. Yeah, yes.
Which is strength generated by one's own intelligence and abilities. We must be tuned in to the Lord's mission, not only for our own personal survival, but also for the sake of all the innocent people being victimized by the destructive mindsets of the modern world. When we dedicate ourselves to serving the divine will, our capacities may expand in incredible ways.
Okay. Now there are two levels, sacred power and divine power. What is the difference between the two? Sacred power is Sattva Guna. And divine power is Vishuddha Sattva. Now in Sattva Guna, what happens? All of you try to, go back, take the reel of your life little backwards, just to think about yourself, how you were 2-3 years before coming to Krishna consciousness. Like, one boy was telling, before coming to Krishna consciousness, when you would come back from the college, you would take his shirt off and put it in a hanger. And every day he would do that. Same shirt he would wear 5, 6, 10 times he would wear until some smell starts coming. Then only he will wash it. Now, once you come to Krishna consciousness, you always wear everyday new clothes. Fresh clothes only you wear. You don't wear anything for the second time. Second time wearing is like eating in a juta plate. Juta plate, once you have washed the plate, only then you can eat. Do you eat in a plate and keep it as it is and eat again in that? You won't do that. Similarly, dress also, you have to wear fresh dress. We're selling. Also, he said, Prabhu, I used to wear jeans for 6 months. I will wear the same jeans daily, until it starts stinking practically. Isn't it? So now you can see when you come to Sattoguna, you look like an angel now, isn't it? And there are people who who grow long mustache, long beard, correct, no? And they keep it unkempt, unclean also, correct, no? Long hair and everything. So you can see that how the life has changed in terms of our culture and habits. Like now I am going to US regularly. So some of our devotee boys, what they do, they cook in the night. They cook by 8 o'clock, they are done. 8 or 9, and they keep that food in the fridge. And next day, afternoon for lunch, they take that. 1 o'clock or so, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, they take that. So they naturally, how they heat it. Correct? No? They heat it and they take it. I told them the microwave is very, very deadly. Don't use, because microwave, it doesn't heat anything. It just makes the grains vibrate. When it vibrates, the heat is, like if you do your hand like this, heat is produced, no? So grains also, when they vibrate, heat is produced. So it only cooks the outer. It doesn't cook the core, inside thing. So it's very health hazardous. It's not good. It doesn't digest at all properly. But people find microwave very comfortable because you don't need gas or anything like that. And some people, even after knowing it is not good, still they are eating. Correct, no? Also, one boy was shocked in the lecture when I told him that Prabhupada says when you heat the rice, it becomes poisonous. It causes food poisoning. Many people don't know. Dal you can heat, sabji you can heat, but not rice. Rice should not be heated. So, Prabhu, last so many years I'm eating, I don't know how much poison I went into my belly. Now I understand why my digestion is so badly affected. He was telling, rice should not be heated. So, I told these boys, like, you cook today night and then you keep it for tomorrow afternoon. I said, cook in the morning. I said, morning is very busy, Prabhu, you have to chant and everything. Say like that. But some people don't realize how this tamaguna can, make their consciousness become very low, very dull. But if you want to have fresh consciousness, you should cook, offer to Krishna, and when it is smoky hot, immediately serve and one should eat. At least 3 hours, before 3 hours pass after cooking. Ideally, it's very, very good for health. So, see the quality of our eating. One father came to Pune. His one son is brahmachari in Pune. Another son is in US. So he was laughing when he came to Pune. He said, see, here is my brahmachari son. 3 times a day he eats hot food. Afternoon, his father was amazed with the chapatis that come. People make it hot in this thing and they immediately serve. Tak, 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 tak. And people just catch it and just quickly finish. Hot chapatis. Tak, 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 tak. It just comes. They make and serve. So he was telling, this son gets 3 times hot prasad, but doesn't earn a single penny. And that fellow is earning millions of dollars, but his wife cooks only once in a week. He said they both are IT people, he was telling. What a paradox. He has a lot of money, but doesn't get good food. This fellow has no money, but gets nice food. He was amazed. Isn't it? So, that's a very amazing paradox, isn't it? Yeah. But the idea is, actually, because the reason is what? That fellow is very ambitious fellow. He want to make more and more money. So his frequency is vibrating on which platform? A Rajasic platform. So whereas this fellow is vibrating on Sattvic platform. So he is relishing prasad, very nice prasad, and leading a very happy life here. But that fellow, if he comes to Pune also, he may come for 2-3 days in a year, he may come. But he cannot understand how this fellow is enjoying life truly. A Rajasic person cannot understand how a Sattvic person is very jolly. He can't understand that. Because he can only understand how the Tamasic person is suffering. That he can understand. But he can't understand about Rajoguna because his frequency is only that, matching with that. But when you go to Sattva, you can see how the Rajasic, Tamasic people are suffering. When you go to Vishuddha Sattva, you can see how the Sattvic people are stuck. That also you can see. You can very clearly see that Sattvic people may be following 4 relative principles. They may be even chanting. Like, one Mataji had come, an elderly lady. She was about 55, 60. She was asking many questions in my abroad, one of the congregation programs. And then I asked Mother, you asked good questions. How many rounds you chant? She said, no, I chant only one round. How long are you coming? He said, I'm coming for 4 or 5 years. Really? It's surprising. How you didn't increase the round? She said, in the morning I do Mrityunjay mantra, I do Lalita Sahasranama, evening I do this one, different things like that. My Lord, she has totally 4 hours of puja. Different. And I don't know how to include this chanting in this with all these things. I said, first you chant 4 rounds to 8 rounds, and then you do all that, I said. She said, I'm only wondering how to fit everything. Because pious people, once become attached to some mantras, they don't give up very easily. Correct, no? They get, it's like a rut. They go in the rut, in the same thing they go. Just like you've seen lorry, in a rainy day when the lorry goes in a muddy, in a muddy, bundy road, it forms a very deep dent with the tire, and all the lorries will go in that only. you know. Now it's not difficult, it's not easy to change, Yeah. So pious people can get stuck like that. But they also get some happiness by chanting those, those mantras. They get some kind of, that is sacred power they get. They feel some joy in the chanting. Similarly, in South India, people go to the temple, they light up a lamp, they offer flowers, they do circumambulation, and they get a kind of thrill in that pious activity that you will see them going for 30, 40 years. Every Tuesday or every Friday, there are people. There are people I have met who, because they are getting some Shakti, undoubtedly, they also get calmness in the mind, and the good behavior, and many virtuous qualities comes in them. So, one fellow in Pune, one very big Agarwal fellow, I had gone to his house, and he told me that, Swamiji, my wife, she is like a Griha Lakshmi. Look at her, how she keeps Radha Krishna deities. I will take and show you. So he took me. My Lord, they have given a whole room. Radha Krishna deities are so beautiful there. So much Shringar she does, with all the decoration, everything, lot of dress and everything. She devotes a lot of time. She devotes like 3, 4 hours. So, and then he took me to the top to his office. I sat. Then he said, see, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I have never touched this pan, which people put no red thing. I have never touched in हमारे हाथ से उसको छुआ भी नहीं हमने कभी भी. I was amazed. My Lord, he's following all the 4 regs. No drink, no smoke, nothing. Then I openly invited him, sir, can you come to our IYF meeting? And at the end, I'll give you some time, 10, 15 minutes, you can speak about your lifestyle. So our boys will get very inspired. So of course he came and he spoke and he told that he's following all these principles. So he was in one bank. That bank, he has moved that bank from something like 2,300 crores to 4,500 crores. Like that, he has made a very big development. So when he said that, boys clapped hands for that. Then he said he followed what all regulative principles follow, they clapped hands. Then he told about Radha Krishna deities at home, they clapped hands. Very wonderful. They were all very charmed. And then he said, Monday he goes to this temple, Friday he goes to that temple, different devatas. And then he threw one bomb. He said, ultimately हम किसका पूजा करते हैं, सब एक ही है ना. Like that he was telling. So he doesn't know the difference. Nor did I tell him immediately. I'll tell him some other time, little after he becomes mature. So that means pious people, they get some thrill in the piety. They are like what? They are like a person going in the car, red signal, he will stop. Green signal, he will move the car, he will do that. India will keep the car at left side. America will keep it on right side. And he's a very pakka driver, he will never commit any mistake in driving. Only problem is he doesn't know where he is going. That's the only problem. No idea of the destination. That's the whole problem for these people, piety. So, because when he follows the rules, he doesn't get punished by the traffic policeman. But he doesn't know where is he going. He's just going. So, therefore, the sacred power is good. It comes from sattvic habits. In America, I saw many people eating salads in the morning. In the morning when I was going in the flight, I saw many people carry boxes. They open. It's not any snacks. They are eating salads, many of them. It's the whole trend is changing. All the more in IT circles. People, they are becoming sattvic and they are getting that kick or the joy of, leading a sattvic life, sattvic ahar. It digests very easily. Food digests very easily and you get good sleep. And then people in this way, when you lead a sattvic life and also when you accept, God as your God as the driving personality of the whole universe. There is a great power in this world. Many people accept nowadays. It's very, very, and they also like kirtans, they like pranayam, they like yoga. By doing all these things, your sacred power builds up, The more you become sati, you get some shakti. How many of you, when you chanted the first round of Hare Krishna, you found it very tedious, completing 108 times? You will be wondering, when will the orange thing come? This one. Huh? This one. When you used to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. So we used to chant with His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. So we used to keep like this and chant. And while chanting, voice will slowly see, when is that thing going to come? And it's going to end. It appears like one boy said, this was an endless chain. It will keep on going, going. So that boy later on told me, I was wondering whether this got lost or what. It's not coming only. So even one round, they'll close the eyes and in between they'll slowly open the eyes and see when it's coming. And they will slowly see, look at Prabhuji also. When is he going to tell us to stop? It's just going on and on. It was so tedious, the first one round. But slowly after that, we came to 2 rounds, 4 rounds. Now we can chant 16 rounds, correct, no? And Ekadashi days, many devotees chant even more also. That means your willpower is increasing. Otherwise, Prabhupada says, any boy, girl from the college, make them sit. 2 rounds, you tell them chant, they will jump immediately. Nowadays, people cannot sit down, like you all are sitting a couple of hours now. They can't sit, only many people. Nowadays, they are so hyperactive, so restless. That means when you get a sacred power, you can sit, you can be patient, you can be tolerant. That's another thing. In Sattva-guna, when you vibrate with sattvic frequency, you get those qualities also. Like even if somebody tells you some fault about you, you are curious to know how you can improve. And Rajasic mode, if somebody tells you, well, you're telling about this, you are like that. Like that they'll get back. You've seen that? When you give one feedback, they'll give another feedback about you. So you may wonder, actually, you can give me feedback, but I want to help you to correct. No, they will say, first you mind your own business, they will say. In that's Rajoguna. But in Sattva-guna, we are in a mood to, learn from others also. So you will see that good qualities in Sattva. Because you are vibrating in that frequency, then only you can get those qualities. Otherwise not. So we have to make our life sattvic, more sattvic. That will give us sacred power. Then the divine power is even more higher, as he says here. The divine power actually comes to those who realize that they must emulate the lives of the most advanced saints. You should, in your heart, have a great admiration for some great saints like Srila Prabhupada and spiritual masters. When you see and when you get deeply touched by their personality, you have a highest adoration and appreciation for Krishna and Vaishnava. When these two attractions become very strong in our heart, then we are touched by their mercy, tolerance, and all those things. And we have to become humble enough, he says, to fully offer ourselves to Krishna to be used like puppets. What Prabhupada said, Nachavo Prabhu, Nachavo se mate, Kashtera Putali, Nachavo se mate. So he says that I am like a wooden doll in your hand. I am a puppet and you are my puppeteer. You are the sutradhar. You make me dance the way you want, like that he says. So in this way, once we come to that point of understanding that we are simply, I'll tell you one very easy way to understand this. Say, for example, say I come to somebody's house. Say I come to, say, one of your houses. And say, Leland Po, I tell you, I bat the door. He opens the door. You can say, Leland Po, open the door. Or you can say, Leland Po's right hand open the door. Or you can say, Leland Po's right hand, the thumb and the indicating finger, they open the door. Generally, which one will you say? Yeah. Similarly, we all are whose part and parcels? So, for example, if Krishna is the whole, and say his right hand is like, say, the spiritual master, for example, and we are two disciples coming together and doing something. So, when we do it, sometimes it is said, the spiritual master was given the task and he got it done through his disciples. Or we may quote the name of the two disciples. They did it. Say Gauranga Prabhu and Radheshyam Prabhu, they both did this. We may say that. Or if somebody says Krishna did wonderfully, that is also correct. Why it's correct? Because we all are his part and parcels only. So in this way we can see like this, that we are a small part, and why we are a part, I'll tell you the reason. Say for example, if you cut these two fingers and keep on the table, can they do anything? No. That means without being part of Krishna, we won't be having any empowerment. That this example Prabhupada gives in Isha. Like if you look at the hand can count. If somebody comes to attack you, you can punch on the nose. Also, you can grasp an object. Like this, you can grasp an object. Correct. If something falls on you, you can stop it with your hand. Hand can do so many things like that. But if somebody looks at the hand's potencies and says, I don't want the whole body, just cut and give me this, I'll take it. They cut the hand and take it. Can the hand do all that? No. Hand is drawing its abilities from the connection to the body. So our strength also comes from our connection to Krishna. That's the whole point. The moment we are disconnected, we become asar. So example Prabhupada gives, if a coal, coal is black. If it is in fire, it is red, red hot. Sometimes in the fire, coal falls up. Then it becomes black. But when it is back in the fire, it is red. That means with Krishna, we become empowered. Away from Krishna, we are disempowered. Correct, no? Prabhupada was in London. Some disciples were walking with him. Prabhupada showed, look at this grass, it is pale yellow. Look at that grass, it is green. Why one is green, one is yellow? What's the reason? Disciples couldn't say why. So Prabhupada said, because the green grass is connected to the root, he said. And the pale yellow grass is disconnected from the root. And then Prabhupada served the greatest verdict. He said, if you are connected to Krishna, you flourish. If you are disconnected from Krishna, you perish. Like that he said. So the connection is what makes us great. So we will conclude with this point. Keep this in mind about the connection. What makes you great is the connection. Like if you tell somebody that I am connected to this temple or connected to such and such devotee, then you will immediately see that people recognize you. And without that connection, we may not get the facilities. Like you will see when you go to some place, if you tell the connection of somebody, they immediately get everything, correct? No? All the facilities, prasad, everything will be provided for you. They'll come and pick you up and everything. If you just say the connection. And without that connection, probably you'll be stranded. Correct, no? I'll tell you one connection story and we will conclude. It's like, I told this in one of the previous classes. Maybe some of you will remember. Like one Harisharan Sharma, he went to one village waiting for a bus, and one boy was also waiting for the bus. I was telling the story in one of the halls few months ago when I came. So this boy was sniffing, the old man was also sniffing, because buses would come heavily loaded with people and they both couldn't climb the bus. They would be pushing one another. And then all the buses went away, 3-4 buses. Both were frustrated. So when there was time to talk for a while, the old man asked the young boy, you see, is there, you know about Ram Sharan Sharma? Like that he asked him. The boy said, that is my grandfather, he said. And this old man was surprised. He said, really? Ram Sharan Sharma is my elder brother. And I am Hare Sharan Sharma. He said, we both are Sharma family. And when he said that, the boy was standing. He said, that means you are also my grandfather, younger grandfather. And the boy said, I heard that, 20 years ago you were living in the same village and then you migrated to other places you went. And the old man asked the boy, how old are you? He asked him. The boy said, I am 18. He said, that means you were not even born that time, when I was in this village. So now I am meeting you. I am so happy to meet you. Then he asked about his brother, Ram Charan Sharma, and then he asked about the family members, asked about the field and the cows and everything. By the time they were talking, they didn't know how the time flew very fast. The next bus came. So this young boy was telling old man, "Aap chad jaiye." The old man was telling young boy, "Tum chad jao beta." Like that he was telling. So now they both were affectionately dealing with each other. So what do you think brought about this change? Earlier they were sniffing and now they're affectionate. Yes? Connection. So now if you are connected to Krishna, you are connected to which living entities? All living entities. Therefore, love God, love all. Then you will be affectionate to everybody practically. And in this way, that's why we respect all living entities. Because everybody is dear to Krishna. We cannot insult anyone. The devotee will never insult anyone. So today we talked about the sacred power and divine power. Next time when we come, we will we'll continue further. We'll stop this page number 4, the first notes, and then we'll continue next time. Sri Prabhupada ki.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Excellent.
Can we take some questions?
I can take it.
Yeah. Prabhuji, a couple of questions. First, I'll ask one. Sometimes some devotees, due to their independent mentality, they leave the group, wherever they are groomed or wherever they are. After that also, they flourish. For example, you're a preacher. So you leave the group, you're independently preaching somewhere. There also you're flourishing, but he's completely disconnected. And he also knows that. He heard 100, umpteen number of lectures that don't be disconnected. But still they get disconnected and they know what's going is wrong, but then they enjoy that. I will not say enjoy, but they are in that state of mind. And they also grow in that preaching. Suddenly it's going up.
Yes.
And I asked this question to one devotee. He told, you can tell, you can add to that or correct it. He told that Krishna sometimes when he wants to teach you a lesson, he'll take you so high and then put you down. That. So maybe it's also a factor that, that growth. I mean, we're not wanting that to happen. But is that also true that, when you become independent,
that
you grow?
is one possibility. And another possibility is sometimes they may follow someone else. They may not follow us because they didn't have a good connect with us. Some chemistry mismatch. So sometimes in the early days when they dealt with us, some heart burning or some kind of friction has happened. So they disconnected in the early stage, and then they went and connected with someone else whom they considered as more kind and more loving and more caring and all. And then they are instead of drawing energy from us, they draw from them. And if they faithfully became connected like that, eventually over a period of time they become fixed up devotee and they flourish, and that way their parampara connection is not lost. And they are flourishing there. So after they flourish there, two things can be done. One is we maintain our old feelings towards them, ill feelings, and then we see it. Other people see it can go on like that, or we can modify our mindset. What we can do when we meet them, we can smile, we can say that Hare Krishna, I'm sorry I could not serve you well in those days. I was a little immature devotee. Now I see that you have connected there and you're flourishing. I wish you well. I wish to see you flourish more and more. And in case you got hurt by my behavior, please forgive me. That is the noble behavior from our side. And they may also sometimes, bow down to us and say, I'm sorry, Prabhu, in case I behaved improperly with you and all that. It has happened with me, some people like that. But sometimes we may not have that amount of guts to go and talk to them like that. We may prefer a neutral relationship. Tum tumhara karo, main apna karunga. You be in your world, I'll be in my world. We can be like that. That is another type of, that is also all right. Because you don't feel comfortable to go and talk to them, meet them. Or as you said, they may not connect with anybody. They may be independent. And because they have certain skill sets. They are, sometimes a person is a very, skilled preacher, speaker. Is very, some people are charismatic and they are crowd pullers. And some people are very caring in their nature. So they attract a lot of people. And they have their following. But we should not wish bad for them. But in case over a period of time, they also get smashed by material nature. They may not obey us here, and they may become independent. They will get the same type of people who don't obey them also. At that time, they will get realization. And that will take a while for them to, because without submissiveness towards our superior, we will not be able to respect the subordinates also. And subordinates will eventually leave them and go. Then they will realize. Over a period of time, success will fall apart, and they will realize. And the material world is a playground where you can commit mistakes and learn and grow out of it. Yeah. There are devotees whom I know, when they were in Pune, sometimes they would have heated argument with me. And then when they went out to other places, they saw the reality. And then they came back to Pune and said, Prabhu, now I have seen the world how it is. I'm very sorry in case I hurt you in some way. Some people say like, when people get a first-hand experience, learning through school of hard knocks, then they become awakened. You know? Yeah. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Actually, I was talking about the last category where they're not connected to anyone. And they're telling also that I'm not connected to anyone. I don't want it to be connected to anyone because I don't
But they are
want
in
to.
ISKCON only?
They're in ISKCON only, So I'm just.
That is called as a splinter group.
Okay.
Splinter groups. There are many, many splinter groups.
Okay.
Actually, the problem in splinter groups is what? Because they are not connected to Guru, they are not connected to any other devotees, they are independent. They say, I am directly connected to Prabhupada. Some people say like that. I am drawing for Prabhupada, and some people have a lot of faith in Prabhupada. So when I look at them, what I think is these people are like spoiled children because they have got a lot of bitter experiences in ISKCON. Sometimes people have left ISKCON and started Hare Krishna Society, in a Science of Self-Realization Society, like that they have started because sometimes the protocols in ISKCON are very stringent. They get fed up, and therefore they start on their own. But starting on their own is very, very risky because tomorrow when they die, everything will be finished. Whereas in ISKCON, we should know in ISKCON that, we people are like Ayaram Gairam. We come in this world, we preach and make devotees. One day we will be gone. But if you put the devotees in touch with the temple will remain for thousands of years. And the deities will remain for thousands of years. And Prabhupada is sitting there. And the satsangas are going to go on. So we should always connect people to ISKCON, Prabhupada, that local deities, take them to the deities and let them develop attachment to the deities. So that they will tell their parampara children also, children, grandchildren, everybody to go there. And even when we are gone, they will continue to be in touch like that. So that's what every preacher should think. And also what I also do, connecting our people to other seniors. For example, many of our devotees go to GEV, they hear from Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, they hear from Gauranga Prabhu, they hear from Shamanand Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, all these people. I call Radha Gopinath Prabhu Pune also, I call. Whole idea is what? When they have multiple touch, if they have problem with one, then they can open up heart to another. Yeah. That means connecting them to multiple devotees and also connecting them to ISKCON and Prabhupada is very, very important so that they don't get lost. When some people are very possessive, they keep the people like this, and when this fellow falls, everybody falls because they don't know anywhere else to go. That's the important thing.
Yeah, just one more question, Prabhuji. You talked about a separatist mentality. So there are some devotees we see, they are so independent in their practice. When the whole group is attending a satsang, they will not come. Or the whole group is attending a Bhagavatam class, they will not be there. Whole group is doing one festival, they'll go somewhere else. Right? We're all doing something, they'll do their own yatra. Right. So we see this mentality. And sometimes I wonder, people are different. So we have to appreciate that difference also. But how do you balance that appreciating the individuality versus such kind of behavior? How do you, as a leader, what would you do?
Are they doing it always or are they doing it occasionally?
60% they'll do like that.
So if they are 60% is more than average, they're doing it and they're doing it like that. So there are various reasons for that. One reason is some subordinates feel that now I have grown up sufficiently and I don't need to be treated like a baby. Like for example, some children, when they want to go to bathroom, they will tell, Mom, I want to go to bathroom. Up to the age of 5 or 6. After they become 7 and all, they go on their own also, correct? So they become more confident. When they become 9 or 10 and all, children can just go down the building and go and purchase something and bring also from the shop also. They become quite mature like that. And once they become a college student, then the mother and father should not, especially after the child becomes 13, 14 or so, the child desires freedom, freedom, adventure, thrill in life, and don't like to be too much followed up by the parents. They want the independence. So what I would suggest leaders who have got many leaders with them, what the subordinates generally want is, they want recognition from the leader, appreciation for their activities, and willing to lend his ears for hearing about their ideas and their successes. They want to share their successes. And they want to do adventure and not be too much followed up, or not too much guided on what is to be done, what is not to be done. They say that when you started, we followed you. Similarly, when we start, let them follow us. Yeah. Don't too much prescribe, go like a horse has this, what do you call it? Blinder. Tuk, 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 it goes, no? So, like that, they say, don't put this. Allow us to try out some creative ways, innovative ways, new things, and don't prescribe every small thing. Even don't expect that even for sneezing and coughing, you have to take permission. You know, so leave us little more freedom, breathing space. I have seen that there are different type of subordinates. Some subordinates are like children; they always want to make sure we are happy with their movements. There are others who are a bit of neutral. Then there are people who desire more freedom. So then what happens if the leader understands that this person is desiring more freedom? They don't chase after them so much. Then the relationship is very good. And the moment the leader is saying that this is rebellion, this is insubordination, see, these people are aligned and you are not aligned. When we bring up such things, then they totally benadrik. They say, oh, this is the way you think about me? Then I will do my own thing. Now, I have taken training, so many years. Thank you for whatever you gave me. But now allow me to be on my own. And I can't actually, you can't mold me anymore. And I am grown up now. So even me, when I have sent to India to 15 temples, different devotees, leaders. I don't micromanage them at all. Huh? They all are in different temple, different situation. So they call me, Prabhu, I need one help from you. I am having a particular problem. Yeah. So how do I solve it? So I would tell them, if I were in your position, this is what I would do. There are 2, 3 options I will tell them. And then I will tell them, you choose whatever you feel is best according to the Ishkalapatra. I leave it to them. Then the relationship is good. If I'm going to tell them, oh, is it like that? This is exactly what you should do. If I tell them, they will say, Prabhuji, that I can't confidently tell you that I will do this because I have another authority here locally. Whether he will agree for this or not, I don't know. They will say. So therefore, it is better that as people grow, if you want to preserve the sweetness of the relationship, it is totally a different ball game. It is, the relationship like Lalayat Panchavarshani, Dashavarshani Tadayat, Praptet Shodashe Varshe Putra Mitravat Achare. Chanakya says, first 5 years, a child requires only hugs and kisses. That's all. Child may say, Wallet. You say, hey, my child is saying water. Child may say, Baba. Oh, my child is saying Prabhupada. Parents say that. It just requires appreciation. And then next 10 years is his instruction. You can take a son or a daughter and show this, show that. See, this is this, this is this. You should know what is right, what is wrong. Everything we can tell. And then when they go to 16, they've grown up beyond your shoulder also. Many parents will see that. How many of your fathers saw your son grow beyond your shoulder? Correct? Physically also, physically and figuratively also. They grow. Then you treat them like friends, which means the son asks, Papa, what do you want me to do? Better, there are many things you can do. 4 things or 5 things you can do. And if you have any other idea other than this 4 or 5, tell me. That is also possible. Then they think, now you understand. So they may have to be given freedom, chance to do adventure. Yeah. So same with dealing with devotees also. Same. Devotees are of different nature. All right? Excellent. So this seminar, what I'm speaking, how many of you feel it makes sense to you? All this, what we are talking today, it makes sense? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this is about altar. So during our preaching, at what point we should suggest that there's some changes to their altar? Like, they have been coming to the satsang for so many years, but is it a good thing to suggest? Like, they may be having so many demigods.
You have to first check, have you given a lecture on God and demigods? You've given that?
Yes.
You've given already?
Yeah, SSR sessions.
So you can just call them and ask them, what did you think about this class? Did you like the class? You can ask them. What did you think about it? If they say, that is too much. Why you all say that only Krishna, then you keep quiet. Then you don't tell them. They are not ready.
Okay.
But if they say, oh, I am very, very happy with this. Ultimately, chief ministers are many, prime ministers only one. Similarly, God is only one ultimately. And there are others are all devatas, I also agree. Then you may ask, in your home, who are all there? You are there, and is your mother and father there? Whom do they worship? So if they say that, oh, they also worship mainly Krishna only, if they say. Then you think we can make a little bigger picture of Krishna along with other devatas. Is it all right? That's the first step. Like all devatas are small, small pictures, and Krishna is big. Eko Bahunam, correct? Na? Can make like that. And then once a big picture of Krishna, and then Narasimha, Chaitanya, all those come, other devatas will be smaller. They on their own, they will grow out of it. We don't have to put the pressure on them.
Okay.
It all comes from understanding of the Siddhanta properly. But before Siddhanta comes, if we tell them, they will stop coming to class. You'll miss them.
So we should take more one-on-one, or it should be
one-on-one. Yes.
Okay.
You can't publicly announce these things.
Okay.
Let them, and also some homes, sometimes their parents want to have Devi or Shiva some photo, just to not hurt their sentiments they may have. My spiritual master said, if they put up a big prominent picture of Radha Krishna, if other devatas they want to have for parents, that is also all right. Or they can make a beautiful altar for their parents and give separately. And they can have another altar, ISKCON altar they can make. That way parents will be happy. ठीक है, तुम तुम्हारा करो, हम अपना करेंगे. They are happy also.
Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu. Just I have one question, but I wanted to have a follow-up question on what Satyadev Prabhu asked. Prabhu, let's say as a family, we have been there for many years and we have certain altar. Let's say maybe we have Lord Shiva's deity or Ganesh deity we have since last 20 years. And we are as a house, we are continuing. Now we are connected to the philosophy. We are crystal clear about the philosophy. So if we are crystal clear about the philosophy, is it mandatory that immediately Shiva's and Ganesh thing have to be removed from the altar? Or if you still understand the supremacy of Krishna, but since they are continuing since many years in your house, if they continue to be in the altar, just offer obeisances. Is that something wrong?
You can offer bhoga to Krishna and then offer the prasad to other devatas.
Yeah.
You can do like that.
But if you are in Krishna conscious, is it mandatory that you have to remove the other deities in your altar?
Generally what His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said, I have been with him to 3 houses, in 3 months. So first time when we went, there were a lot of different devata pictures were there. And the devotee was telling Maharaj that, Maharaj, in my home, it's like a joint family, many of us are living. I'm unable to. Maharaj said, don't worry, you have Radha Krishna picture, we prominently you have put. You look at them, you worship, no problem, Maharaj said. 1 month later, we went to another place. There, that fellow had made a prominent, nice Radha Krishna and Gaurnita and all that he had made. And, there were also demigod pictures below. And then he asked Maharaj, Maharaj, I made a nice altar. What do you do with these devatas? And Maharaj said, you can keep them in the side because they are also taking darshan. Like that he said. So he kept like this. Then we went to Akrur Prabhu's house, third month. So when Maharaj saw the altar, big Radha Krishna picture, and all the ISKCON altar was there, and then one side Maharaj saw there was a packet kind of thing, cloth packet kind of thing was kept. Maharaj asked, what is that? Maharaj, all the demigods are inside, he said. Yeah. I was just thinking of asking you, Maharaj, whether I should do Jala Visarjan or something like that. Maharaj said, no, 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 no. Don't put it in the water. In your family, if somebody is fond of these deities, if they want to worship Ganesha and Shivalinga, they want to worship, you can gift it to them. Let them worship, because if they may not be worshipping anything, at least they are ready to worship these devatas, they want it. They may know that you had it before. So if you say, I did Jalavasant, they will get angry on you. So you can give it to them, like that Maharaj said. So Prabhuji did that.
Understand. So if you don't remove, is it considered as insubordination to the parampara?
No, if you don't remove, there is a problem in that. I'll tell you what is the problem. If you are a preacher, people visit your home, and when they see, like in Pune, I'll tell you, for example, we got this Balaji deity, correct now? Big Balaji deity,
Yes.
life-size deity. We had kept it in one. The Balaji was giving darshan to the public people. Then below Balaji deity, there was along with that, this Banerjee had given us one Ganesh deity also. Ganesh was almost 1/3 of Balaji deity height. So what our brahmachari said, they had put a Gaudiya Tilak for Ganesh, and they had kept Ganesh also sitting there. When Maharaj came and offered obeisances, he saw Ganesh, and then he called me to his room and said, Radheshyam, why they have kept Ganesh? I said, Maharaj, both deities came together. That's what our devotees. Then Maharaj was telling that, see, if you keep this, then your temple is a famous temple. Then many others will say, Radheshyam is keeping in Pune. So why can't we keep? Then all temples would want to have Ganesh. Everywhere in the world, people will copy that. Because many people are fond of Ganesh, people come. And people pray for Vignaharta, please make my business better. Many people will come like that. It will be very bad preaching. He said, and you can give away this Ganesh to somebody who wants to worship. In case some people are fond of this thing, you give. But to keeping in public, because if, for example, if you are one of the devotees, you are keeping in a house and nobody is going to come and watch your altar, it's all right. But if you are going to be a leader or a preacher, then preachers, every movement is decoded by people. How a person behaves, how he speaks, how he conducts himself. Like, Lord Chaitanya went to Shiva temples and he danced also. Because Lord Shiva, he, in the negative axis and 0, 0 and positive axis, Shiva has role in all the three. In the negative axis, you will see he does pralaya. Pralaya kal, he does samhar, he does. In the 0, 0, you will find Shiva sitting in meditation, completely absorbed. You've seen that picture? Shiva.
Yes.
In the positive axis, he does Ananda Tandavam. He does very beautifully. So he plays on all the three roles he has. So we can be great lovers of Shiva also. We can have deep affection for Shiva also. Because he is a Parama Vaishnava, Charachara Guru. And Mahaprabhu accepted like that. In many temples he went. At the same time, when it comes to our altar, we don't keep Shiva or Ganesha and all because we understand, but common people will misunderstand. Common people foolishly decode that all gods are equal.
Okay.
They think like, is that clear?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
Just
you.
one question, if I can ask, whatever. Prabhu, in the first sloka, Bhagavatam sloka, you were suggesting about certain qualities of a devotee, damba and few other things, anger and all, and that connects to in the mode of
Ignorance.
ignorance. But Prabhu, if you see a practicing Krishna conscious devotee, his focus is pure devotional service, but maybe because of anardhas, he is just an early stage sadhaka.
Correct.
Still anardhas are there, anger is there and all.
Yeah.
So is that considered as a prayer in the mode of ignorance, or is that still prayer in the
Actually,
mode of
there are-
goodness, but his qualities are in the ignorance?
Actually, there are 81 type of devotional service.
Correct.
So when we cross all this, the 81st type of devotional service is called pure devotional service. So in the negative axis, all these are existing. And when you go to 0, 0, 0, 0 is the point, Mad Bhaktir Labate Param. From there, Shuddha Bhakti starts. From that point. That means Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktir Labate Param. So Mad Bhakti Labate Param. My bhakti actually starts there only, he says. Then what are we doing now? You may have a question, correct now? So we are actually preparing for Shuddha Bhakti. At the moment we are like for example, 10th, 11th, 12th standards are preparing for IIT JEE. They crack the exam, then they can get into IIT. Then that is like Shuddha Bhakti. Correct, no? When you start from 0 onwards, till then, we are actually kind of preparing for practicing Shuddha Bhakti. Another understanding I've heard is, even if you have not come to that point of 0, if you are guided by a guru and you strictly adhere to his instruction, then you are doing pure devotion service. Although we don't have the qualities necessary for pure devotion service, we are trying to simply do what Guru has told us to do. Correct? Like Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, Adhikari is like that. But generally, we can think that in these 3 verses, Kapila says that this is bhakti executed by one who is not yet free from tamaguna. Bhakti executed by one who is not free from rajaguna, like that. So the gunas are still prevalent, and they have not yet become purified. Well, there is one verse in Bhagavatam, Tada rajas tamo bhava kamalobhada yaschaye cheta eteirana viddam stam satve prasidati evam prajanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate vidyate hridaya grantischyedyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani drishtaye vatmanishwari. So these verses say that Rajas and Tamas, when they are gone, and then you come to Sattva. Prasidati, you become cheerful in devotional service. And then the connection with Krishna becomes very, very strong. Nishtha Bhakti onwards. So till Nishtha, it's a struggle. Nishtha onwards, then Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. So those are all completely Shuddha Bhakti. But even if you are a Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakta, I am still in Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya. But I am guided by a Vaishnava devotee, great devotee. Such a devotee is not condemnable. Because even though the gunas are causing him to have the anarthas, one is undergoing anartha nivritti. Somebody is fallen in a muddy pool of mud in the ground. Now they are under the shower bath. If somebody ridicules them, hey, this side mud is there, that side mud is there. But he already under the shower. So it's not worthy to criticize them. Right now. All right?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Sorry for the delay.
One last question. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhu, I don't have a question, but I have something to share, inspiration regarding the class. Actually, the whole class, when I felt like when a well-wisher, true well-wisher, always try to give the maximum benefit. That's what I felt when you brought the relevancy to our whatever consciousness, because which is very helpful to us. And also from the class, like from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayer, and also this whatever the examples, Indra and the kings actually who Jarasandha harassed, all that thing. The way you brought it very inspired me, because over the period of time, this possessiveness or doership mentality increases. Day by day goes in Krishna conscious practices. The doership mentality, particularly while preaching, also increases when provided one is not properly connected. That's what you are addressing. So how Bhaktivinoda always depended on mercy of Krishna, means connection, means empowerment. When we lose that, how we become falsely proud like Indra. So those things are very, very closely connected. The entire class is very thematically connecting, so very inspiring. And the source of actually empowerment is alignment with the Guru's instruction. Is actually you made very wonderfully brought that theme. Really inspired, bro. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
You gave a very good synopsis, isn't it? The whole class, very beautiful. Prabhuji recently joined us in our group, correct, no? I connected, invited him, yeah. And Prabhuji is doing very good preaching in his home. In his home. Which day you do the program?
Every Saturday, 7 p.m. in Manipur.
Lot of people come. The hall is like flooded. There 2 rooms become full in his house. You do 2 programs in a week, right?
Yes, bro. One online and one offline.
Very, very wonderful.
And Prabhupada book, every Saturday we do Prashadam plus Srila Prabhupada book distribution for 2 hours in the morning time.
Correct. Yeah. Wonderful. Which area you do?
Manikonda area,
Manikonda.
different colonies, different
Wonderful.
area.
Very wonderful. So we will have one more talk on empowerment next time because I have part 2 also in this. It will become more advanced now because we are going to have a lot of Shastric examples will come now. How empowered people acted and different examples of different themes we'll bring out next time when you come. I'll tell you the date for you. Dylan has booked all these dates well in advance. Huh? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So let us thank Prabhuji with 3 loud and enthusiastic Haribo. Haribo. Prabhu, truly these slate sessions are at a next level. They help us to ask questions that we can't ask anywhere else. Really. Because due to immaturity, we commit so many mistakes. I'm talking about myself. Many times commit mistakes, and then especially guidance in the sensitive areas where you have to recognize individuality and yet importance of authority also should explain. It's very difficult to explain, but you do it so nicely, Prabhuji. Thank you for
Actually, this is a very good forum of it's like August Assembly of wonderful leaders.
Yeah.
So if this kind of things are done over the years, devotees will become so mature in thinking deeply about the subjects. And that is the real thing that will bring sweetness in a community. Because what hurts the members of the community is when they behave in a Kanishta way.
Yeah.
Kanishta communities are very painful communities. People hurt one another like anything. Even big devotees who are 20, 25 years old also can hurt each other. If they don't, my Guru Maharaj was once telling, what is most important in the community is what people feel for each other, and not just what they speak. Because formally speaking and acting is more easy than feeling. So feeling good about others requires one to go from Kanishta to Madhyam.
Okay.
So what we are endeavoring in this type of seminars is actually we are all making an effort to. It helps me also personally when I prepare these notes and share with devotees. Then in dealings we can bring this into action. Very helpful.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you.